A 7-year-old girl whispered 3 terrifying words to a stranger in leather. "He's after me." What happened next would shake an entire town. But no one could have predicted the truth about the man chasing her. If this story about courage, protection, and standing up for the innocent touches your heart, please hit the like button and share your thoughts in the comments below. Maddox Kane didn't do fear. At 6'4", with arms covered in ink and a scar running down his left cheek, he was the kind of man people crossed the street to avoid. Vice president of the Iron Reapers Motorcycle Club, he'd spent 20 years earning his reputation. But when the small hand tugged at his leather vest while he stood in line at Rusty's roadside diner, something in his chest tightened. He looked down. A little girl, maybe 7 years old, with tangled blonde hair and tear-stained cheeks, stared up at him with eyes too old for her face. Her pink t-shirt was dirty, one sleeve torn. Her small fingers trembled as they gripped his vest. "Please," she whispered, voice barely audible. "He's after me." Maddox crouched down immediately, making himself smaller, less intimidating. "Who's after you, sweetheart?" "The man in the grey car. He's been following me since I ran away. He says I have to go back." Her eyes darted to the window. "Please don't let him take me." Maddox's jaw clenched. "What's your name?" "Emma." "Emma, I'm Maddox. Nobody's taking you anywhere you don't want to go. I promise." He stood, one hand protectively on her shoulder, and scanned the parking lot. A grey sedan sat idling near the road, tinted windows hiding whoever was inside. The diner was typical small-town America, worn red booths, checkered floor, smell of coffee and bacon grease. Locals filled most seats. Maddox's Iron Reaper's vest drew stares, but nobody said anything. They knew better. His phone buzzed. A text from Reaper, the club president. "Where you at?" Maddox typed back, "Rusty's diner. Got a situation. Need backup. Now." The response was immediate. "On the way." Emma's small voice broke through. "Is he coming in?" Maddox positioned himself so Emma was behind him, his body a shield. "Even if he does, he goes through me first. And nobody goes through me." The diner door chimed. A man entered, mid-50s, expensive suit, perfectly groomed silver hair. He wore a warm smile that didn't reach his cold blue eyes. Maddox recognized the type immediately, predator in politician's clothing. The man's eyes found Emma, and his smile widened. "There you are, sweetheart. Your mother's been worried sick. Come along now." Emma's hand gripped Maddox's vest tighter. She pressed herself against his leg, trembling. "He's lying. He's not my family. Please don't let him take me." Maddox stepped forward, putting more distance between Emma and the man. "She says she doesn't know you. I believe her." The man's expression shifted, annoyance flickering before the warm mask returned. "I apologize for the confusion. I'm Richard Holloway. Emma is staying with my family. She's had difficulties adjusting. Sometimes she runs off. Her caseworker will confirm everything." "Caseworker?" Maddox's eyes narrowed. "I'm a licensed foster parent. Emma's been with me for 3 months. This isn't the first time she's run away. Trauma does terrible things to children's minds." Holloway pulled out a wallet, flashing identification. "I'm just trying to help her. She needs professional care." Emma's voice was desperate. "He's lying. I'm not supposed to be there. He took me. Nobody knows where I am. Please, please don't believe him." The diner had gone quiet. Other customers watched. An elderly waitress had her hand on the phone behind the counter, uncertain. "Here's what's going to happen," Maddox said, voice carrying absolute authority. "The girl stays with me until the police arrive and sort this out. If you're telling the truth, you got nothing to worry about." Holloway's expression hardened. "You're interfering with a legal guardianship. I could have you arrested. Go ahead and try." The rumble started low, that distinctive sound of multiple motorcycle engines approaching. Holloway's eyes widened as the parking lot began filling with bikes. One after another, Iron Reapers rolled in, their engines creating a thunderous chorus. Maddox smiled, but there was nothing friendly in it. "Nobody goes through me. And now you got a bigger problem, because they don't go through my brothers either. Within 3 minutes, 50 bikers filled the parking lot and surrounded the diner. They didn't enter, just stood in a silent, intimidating wall of leather and chrome. Reaper, the club president, was first through the door. He was older than Maddox, early 50s, with a grey beard and eyes that had seen too much. Mad dog. What we got? This man claims to be the girl's foster parent. She says he's lying and that he took her. Says she ran away and he's been following her. Reaper looked down at Emma, his expression softening. Hey there, little one. You safe now. Nobody here's gonna let anything bad happen to you. Holloway's phone rang. He answered, listened, then his face went pale. I understand. Yes, I'll wait. He hung up and looked at Maddox with barely concealed fury. My attorney is on the way. So are the police. You're making a very serious mistake. Let them come, Maddox replied. We got all day. Emma tugged on his vest again. Maddox crouched down. What is it, sweetheart? There are others, she whispered. Other kids. At the house. He keeps them in the basement. I only got out because I found a loose window. Please, you have to help them. The words hit Maddox like a physical blow. He looked up at Reaper, who'd heard every word. The older man's expression went from protective to absolutely murderous. Change of plans, Reaper said quietly. Somebody call the real police. And somebody better make damn sure this piece of trash doesn't leave. The parking lot had transformed into a fortress. 50 Iron Reapers stood in formation around Rusty's diner, their bikes creating a metal barrier. None of them spoke. None moved. They just waited, a silent promise of protection. Inside, Maddox had guided Emma to a booth in the back corner. She sat pressed against the wall, making herself small. The elderly waitress, her name tag read Betty, brought over hot chocolate and a grilled cheese without being asked. On the house, baby, Betty said softly. You eat up now. You're safe here. Emma's hands shook as she lifted the mug. She took a small sip, then another. Maddox sat across from her, positioned so he could watch both her and the rest of the diner. Holloway sat 3 booths away, phone pressed to his ear, speaking in urgent, hushed tones. Reaper stood near the door with other senior club members. Maddox caught fragments. Check the property records. Find that address. Somebody's got connections. Emma finally spoke, voice small. Are you really not going to let him take me? Not a chance, kid. You got my word, and an Iron Reaper's word means something. My teacher told us to stay away from bikers. She said you were dangerous. Maddox almost smiled. Your teacher wasn't wrong. We are dangerous. But we're dangerous to people who hurt kids, not to the kids themselves. Big difference. Emma took a bite of her sandwich. She chewed slowly, like she hadn't eaten in a while. How come you're helping me? You don't even know me. The question hurt more than Maddox expected. I had a little girl once. She'd be about your age now if... He stopped. Let's just say I know what it's like when someone needs protection, and I know what happens when nobody steps up, so I'm stepping up. Emma's eyes welled with tears. He's going to say I'm lying. They always believe him. He's important. He donates money to schools and churches. Everybody thinks he's good. What do you think? I think he's a monster. I think he's been hurting kids for a long time and nobody stops him. She wiped her eyes. There were 4 other kids in the basement when I left. 2 boys and 2 girls. They've been there longer than me. Maddox felt rage building. How long were you there, Emma? Maybe 2 months? They took me from the park. My mom was supposed to pick me up after school, but she was late. A woman said she was a social worker and that my mom was in an accident. She drove me to the house. Mr. Holloway was there. Emma's voice dropped. But my mom never came. And I heard him tell someone that my mom doesn't even know I'm missing. He said the police think I ran away. The diner door chimed. 2 police officers entered, Sheriff Marcus Webb and Deputy Linda Torres. Webb was in his late 40s, weathered. Torres was younger, sharper-eyed, with her hand resting near her weapon. Holloway immediately stood, relief flooding his face. Sheriff Webb, thank God. These men are holding me here against my will. That child is my legal foster placement. Webb's eyes moved from Holloway to the bikers, to Emma huddled in the booth. That true, Reaper? The child says she doesn't know him, says he kidnapped her, says there are other kids being held at his property. We're just making sure she stays safe until somebody figures out which story is true. I can provide documentation, Holloway said quickly. Call my caseworker, Helen Martinez. This child has a history of running away and making false accusations. We're trying to get her the help she needs. Deputy Torres crouched down next to Emma's booth. Hi, honey. I'm Deputy Torres. Can you tell me your name? Emma? Emma Sawyer. Torres pulled out her phone, typed quickly. Then her expression changed. She stood and walked to Sheriff Webb, showing him the screen. Webb's face went from skeptical to very serious. Mr. Holloway, I'm going to need you to step outside with me. What? Why? I've done nothing wrong. Emma Sawyer was reported missing 6 weeks ago from Riverside Park. Her mother, Jennifer Sawyer, has been searching for her. The case is still active. Webb's hand moved to his weapon. So either there's been a massive misunderstanding with your caseworker, or we have a serious problem. Holloway's mask cracked. You don't understand. I have connections. I know the mayor, the district attorney. You're making a career-ending mistake, Sheriff. Maybe, but that little girl is shaking like a leaf and says you kidnapped her. So we're going to sort this out. Now move. As Webb escorted Holloway outside, Torres stayed with Emma. Honey, you're being very brave. Can you tell me about the house where you were kept? Emma described it. A large property outside town, isolated with a tall fence. She described the basement, the rooms, the other children. With each detail, Torres's expression grew grimmer. Maddox's phone buzzed. A text from Chains. Found it. Property records show Holloway owns a compound 15 miles west, licensed as a private children's facility. Reaper read over Maddox's shoulder and swore. He's been doing this in plain sight, with official approval. Outside, Holloway was shouting. Webb stood between him and his car. More vehicles were arriving, sheriff's units, an unmarked sedan, and a news van. Betty came over with more hot chocolate. That man's been coming here for years, always so polite. I never would have guessed. She shook her head. Thank God you boys were here. Emma looked up at Maddox. What happens now? Now, we make sure you get back to your mum, and we make sure those other kids get out of that house, and we make sure Mr. Holloway never hurts another kid again. But he has lawyers and money and friends. Maddox knelt beside the booth. Emma, look out that window. You see all those bikes? All those guys? That's 50 people who showed up because one little girl asked for help. You think nobody cares about you. Kid, you just got yourself the scariest guardian angels in the state, and we don't quit. We don't back down, and we sure as hell don't let monsters win. Tears streamed down Emma's face, but for the first time they looked like relief. Deputy Torres finished typing. Emma, do you know the names of the other children? Emma nodded. There's Sarah. She's maybe 9. Marcus is 7 like me. There's a really little girl, maybe 5, who they call Mouse, and there's Tyler. He's older, maybe 10. He helped me reach the window. Torres radioed dispatch. This is Torres. I need child services, FBI, and tactical team at the Holloway property, 2547 County Road West. We have credible report of multiple missing children, possible trafficking situation. Code 3. The response crackled. Copy that. Units rolling. Through the window, Maddox watched Holloway being handcuffed, still shouting about lawyers, but something in his demeanor had shifted from confident to desperate. Reaper came over. We're going to follow the tactical team, not to interfere, just to make sure those kids get out safe. You good here? Yeah, I'll stay until her mom arrives. Good man. Reaper looked at Emma. Miss Emma, you are one brave kid. You saved yourself and you're about to save 4 other kids too. Don't ever forget that. As the Iron Reapers mounted their bikes and followed the police convoy, Betty came over. Your food's ready, honey, and I called your mama. She's on her way. Should be here in about 20 minutes. Emma's face transformed. My mom's coming. Really? Really? For the first time since Maddox had met her, Emma smiled. The diner felt different now, less like a fortress and more like a sanctuary. Most Iron Reapers had left, but a handful remained outside. Inside, Emma finished her grilled cheese while Maddox sipped terrible coffee and watched the door. Deputy Torres sat across from them, laptop open, taking notes. Emma, just a few more questions. When you were at the house, did you ever see other adults besides Mr. Holloway? Emma nodded. There was a woman who brought food. She had brown hair and always looked sad. And there were men who came sometimes at night. Mr. Holloway would tell us to be quiet when they were there. Torres typed rapidly. Did you recognize any of them? Any names? One man, Mr. Holloway called him Judge. He came a lot. And there was another one who wore a uniform, like a police uniform. The deputy's jaw tightened. What color uniform? Dark blue. It had a shiny badge. Torres exchanged a look with Maddox. This wasn't just one predator. It was a network. Okay, sweetheart. You're being so helpful. Through the window, Maddox spotted a battered Honda Civic racing into the parking lot. A woman jumped out, late 30s, wild brown hair, wearing scrubs. Her eyes were red from crying. That's my mom! Emma scrambled out of the booth. The door burst open and Jennifer Sawyer ran inside, dropping to her knees as Emma launched into her arms. Both sobbed, deep, shaking cries of relief and reunion. Jennifer's hands ran through Emma's hair, over her arms, her face, confirming her daughter was real. Baby, oh my baby! I looked everywhere. I never stopped looking. I'm so sorry. It's okay, Mama. I'm okay now. The biker man helped me. He kept me safe. Jennifer looked up at Maddox, face streaked with tears. Thank you. God, thank you. I thought I'd lost her forever. The police said she probably ran away, but Emma's only 7 and she didn't run away, Mom. She was taken, but she's a fighter. She got herself out. Jennifer stood, still holding Emma, and extended her hand. He shook it, her grip surprisingly strong. I don't even know your name. Maddox Kane. Most folks call me Mad Dog. Mr. Kane, I owe you everything. If you hadn't been here, if you hadn't listened to her, any decent person would have done the same. But they didn't. For 6 weeks, people looked past her, walked by her, didn't see her. You did. That means everything. Deputy Torres stood. Mrs. Sawyer, I know this is overwhelming, but we need to get Emma to the hospital for evaluation. Standard procedure, and there will be more questions. Jennifer's grip on Emma tightened. I'm not letting her go. You'll be with her the entire time, I promise. But we need to document everything for the case, and Emma mentioned other children. She might be the key to saving them. The police already went to get them, Emma said. The bikers went too. They're going to make sure the other kids are safe. Jennifer looked confused. Bikers? Maddox gestured to the window where the remaining Iron Reapers stood watch. My club. Your daughter walked up to the scariest-looking guy in this diner and asked for help. Turned out to be a smart move. I knew he'd protect me, Emma said simply. He has kind eyes. The words hit Maddox somewhere deep. His phone buzzed. A text from Reaper. At the property, tactical going in, 4 kids confirmed, all alive. Situation under control. Maddox showed the message to Torres, who radioed it in. Then he crouched to Emma's level. Those other kids you told us about? They just got rescued, all 4 of them. They're safe now because you were brave enough to run and smart enough to ask for help. Emma's eyes went wide. Really? They're all okay? Really? You're a hero, Emma. Jennifer pressed a kiss to her daughter's head. We should go to the hospital. She looked at Maddox. Will you come with us? I think Emma might need a familiar face. Mom, can he? Emma asked. Please. Maddox felt something crack open in his chest. If the deputy says it's okay, I'll follow you over. Torres nodded. That's fine. Might actually help keep Emma calm during examination. As they prepared to leave, Betty came over with a bag. Sandwiches and cookies for the road. And Emma, honey, you come back anytime. Next meal's on me for life. The Iron Reapers in the parking lot stood at attention as Jennifer carried Emma to the car. Chains approached Maddox. We'll head to the hospital too. Make sure nothing goes sideways. Reaper says good job. It's not over yet. Holloway had connections. A judge, possibly a cop. This is going to get ugly. Let it get ugly. We didn't start this fight, but we're damn sure going to finish it. At the hospital, Emma was checked into a private room. The examination was gentle but thorough. Maddox waited outside with Jennifer. She sat with her head in her hands, occasionally looking up at him, like she couldn't quite believe he was real. "I need to understand something," Jennifer finally said. "Why? You don't know us. You could have just walked away. Why did you stay?" Maddox was quiet for a long moment. "I had a daughter, Lily. She'd be 8 now. 3 years ago, she and my wife were coming home from dance class. Drunk driver ran a red light. Neither survived." Jennifer's hand flew to her mouth. "Oh God, I'm so sorry. For a long time after, I couldn't see the point of anything. The club kept me from eating my gun, honestly." He looked at the closed door. "Then this little girl grabs my vest and asks me to protect her, and I realized maybe this is why. Maybe I survived so I could be here today for her." "Do you believe in things happening for a reason?" "I believe in showing up when it matters. Everything else is just noise." The examination room door opened. Emma emerged looking exhausted but okay, wearing clean hospital clothes. A doctor spoke quietly to Jennifer about findings: malnutrition, minor injuries, trauma indicators, but nothing that couldn't heal with time and care. A commotion down the hall drew attention. More people were arriving: social workers, FBI agents, and someone in an expensive suit who looked very unhappy. The man approached Jennifer. "Mrs. Sawyer, I'm Bradley Norton, Mr. Holloway's attorney. I need to speak with you." "Get away from my daughter," Jennifer said, voice steel. "Mrs. Sawyer, my client has rights." Maddox stepped between Norton and Jennifer. "She said get away." Norton looked up at Maddox's 6'4" frame and apparently decided discretion was wiser. "This isn't over." "You're right, it's not, because that little girl is going to testify, and 4 other kids are going to testify, and your client is going to spend the rest of his life in a cage." As Norton retreated, an FBI agent approached, a woman in her 40s with sharp eyes. "Mrs. Sawyer, I'm Special Agent Rita Caldwell. I need to speak with Emma when she's ready. What she's told us suggests Mr. Holloway wasn't working alone. We're looking at a trafficking network that may span multiple states." "How long has this been going on?" Jennifer asked. "We're still investigating, but based on what we've found at the property, years, possibly decades. Your daughter may have helped us crack one of the biggest cases this region has ever seen." Emma, listening from her mother's arms, looked up at Maddox. "You said those men were dangerous to people who hurt kids. Are they going to make sure the bad people go to jail?" "Yeah, kid, we're going to make sure." What none of them knew yet was that the full scope of what Holloway had built was only beginning to emerge. 3 days after Emma's rescue, the scope of Holloway's operation became clear. FBI raids across 4 states uncovered a network spanning 15 years. The house where Emma had been held contained evidence linking dozens of missing children cases. Maddox had stayed close to Emma and Jennifer, checking in daily. The club had assigned rotating protection, 2 Iron Reapers outside their apartment at all times. On Thursday morning, Maddox received a call from Agent Caldwell. "We need to talk. Can you come to the field office?" An hour later, Maddox sat across from Caldwell in a conference room. She slid a folder across the table. "The 4 children Emma mentioned, we got them out. But there's a problem." "What kind of problem?" "The woman who brought food, Carol Jennings. She's been working for Holloway for 8 years. We brought her in." Caldwell opened the folder, revealing a photo. "She's talking, and what she's saying changes everything." "What did she say?" "That Holloway didn't run this alone. He had partners, wealthy, powerful men who paid for access to the children. Carol kept records, names, dates, payments." Maddox's hands clenched. "How many names?" 37, including a state judge, 3 police officers, 2 city councilmen, and a congressman. Jesus Christ. It gets worse. One of the names? Sheriff Marcus Webb. Maddox shot to his feet. Webb, the sheriff who responded to the diner. The same. According to Carol, he's been covering for Holloway for a decade, making reports disappear, discrediting witnesses. Emma's case. Her mother said the police told her Emma probably ran away. That was Webb. Caldwell nodded grimly. He took the initial report. Convinced Jennifer that 7-year-olds run away all the time. He never opened an investigation. Where is he now? That's why I called you. Webb disappeared yesterday. We went to arrest him, and he was gone. Someone tipped him off. Yes. Which means everyone involved in this case is at risk, including Emma. If Webb thinks she can identify him, he might come for her. Over my dead body. That's what I'm afraid of. Officially, I can't ask civilians to provide protection. But unofficially, I trust you more than I trust half my own people. Maddox texted Reaper, "Emergency church meeting tonight, all members." Within hours, 50 Iron Reapers gathered at their clubhouse. Maddox laid out everything. The names, the network, Webb's disappearance. Reaper's voice cut through angry murmurs. "So we've got a dirty cop on the run who might come after a 7-year-old girl. That about sum it up? Yeah. Then here's what we do. Round-the-clock protection for Emma and her mother. 3-man teams, 8-hour shifts." The club voted unanimously. Operation Guardian Angel was born. That night, Maddox knocked on Jennifer's door. She answered, Emma peering around her legs. "Mr. Kane, come in. Call me Maddox. I need to talk to you about something important." They sat in the small living room. Maddox explained about Webb, about the threat, about the protection. Jennifer's face went pale. "The sheriff? The man who took my report when Emma first went missing?" "Yeah. He's the reason nobody looked for Emma." Emma's small voice. "Is he going to come here?" "Not if I have anything to say about it, kid. We're going to have some friends watching out for you. You'll see bikes outside, guys in leather. They're here to keep you safe. Like you did at the diner." "Exactly like that." Jennifer wiped tears. "I don't know how to thank you. We're doing this because it's right." "Why does your club care so much?" Maddox looked at Emma, saw his own daughter's face. "Because somebody has to." 2 weeks into Operation Guardian Angel, Maddox had settled into a routine. His shift was midnight to 8 a.m., watching Jennifer's building. It was quiet work, mostly boring, but knowing Emma was safe inside made it worthwhile. On Tuesday night, his phone buzzed. "Agent Caldwell, we got a break. Carol Jennings led us to Holloway's financial records. We're tracking money flows now." Maddox typed back, "Any sign of Webb?" "No, but we found large payments from Webb to an account in Mexico. We think he's planning to run, or he's already there. Maybe. But his daughter still lives here, works at Riverside Elementary. We're watching her in case he makes contact." Riverside Elementary, where Emma had been taken. Webb's daughter worked there when Emma was taken. "Checking now. Hold on." A pause. "Jesus. Yes. She's a teacher's aide, has been for 5 years. That's not a coincidence." "No. I'm bringing her in for questioning tomorrow." The next morning, Chains called. "We got a problem. Jennifer's car won't start. She needs to get Emma to a therapy appointment across town." "I'll drive them." Maddox picked them up in his truck. Emma climbed into the back seat, clutching a stuffed bear. "Mr. Maddox, can I ask you something?" Emma said as they drove. "Sure, kid. Agent Caldwell said I might have to testify. In court, I'm scared." Maddox caught her eyes in the rearview mirror. "Being scared is okay. Brave people get scared all the time. They just don't let the fear stop them. What if I mess up? Then you tell them what you do remember. The truth doesn't have to be perfect, Emma. It just has to be true." Jennifer reached back and squeezed Emma's hand. "And we'll be right there with you, baby." The therapy appointment was at a clinic downtown. Maddox walked them inside, did a quick security sweep, then settled in the waiting room. His phone buzzed. Reaper. "Turn on the news." Maddox found a TV and switched to a local channel. The headline made his stomach drop. "FBI arrests in child trafficking case. Congressman among those charged." The reporter stood outside a courthouse. Names scrolled across the screen. The judge, the city councilman, 3 police officers, all under arrest. But Sheriff Marcus Webb's name appeared with, "At large, warrant issued." Jennifer came out and saw the TV. Her face went white. Oh, God. Which means Webb's going to be desperate. As if on cue, Maddox's phone rang. "Caldwell. Where are you?" Downtown clinic with Emma and her mother. Why? Webb's daughter just called him. We were monitoring her phone. He asked where Emma was, specifically asked about therapy appointments. He's fishing. Get Emma somewhere safe. Now. We're sending units. Through the clinic's front windows, Maddox saw a grey sedan pull into the parking lot. The same grey sedan from the diner. He's here, Maddox said. Webb's here right now. Maddox, do not engage. He hung up and turned to Jennifer. Take Emma to the back office. Lock the door. Don't come out until I tell you. What's happening? Just go. Now. Jennifer grabbed Emma and ran. Maddox positioned himself between the entrance and the hallway. Webb entered 30 seconds later. The former sheriff looked different, unshaven, wild-eyed, desperate. He held a gun at his side. Where is she? Webb demanded. Not here. Don't play games. I know she has appointments here. Even if she was here, you think I'd let you near her? Webb raised the gun. I'm not asking permission. Maddox didn't flinch. You shoot me. Every cop within 10 miles comes running. I'm already dead. My life is over. But if I'm going down, I'm taking everyone with me, starting with that little girl who couldn't keep her mouth shut. She's 7 years old. She's a witness who can put me away for life. Then Maddox heard it, the rumble of motorcycles. Multiple engines approaching fast. Webb heard it too. His face went from desperate to panicked. What is that? That, Maddox said with a grim smile, is 50 very angry bikers who really don't like people threatening little girls. The Iron Reapers poured into the parking lot, surrounding the building. Reaper was first through the door, followed by Chains, Bear, and a dozen others. Webb spun, gun swinging wildly. Stay back! Can't do that, Reaper said calmly. See, you threatened our kid, and we take that personal. I'll shoot, I swear! The shot never came. Ghost, moving from Webb's blind spot, tackled him low and hard. The gun went flying. Within seconds, Webb was face down, 3 bikers holding him. Police sirens wailed outside. Agent Caldwell burst in with a tactical team. We got him! As officers cuffed Webb, he kept screaming. You don't understand! They made me! I had no choice! Save it for your lawyer, Caldwell said coldly. Maddox went to the back office and knocked. It's over. You can come out. Emma ran to Maddox, wrapping her arms around his waist. You saved me again. We saved you. All of us. The trial lasted 6 weeks. 37 men faced justice. Emma testified on day 12, sitting in a special chair, her mother beside her, and Maddox in the front row. She was incredible, clear, brave, honest. She described the house, the basement, the other children. She identified Holloway without hesitation. I'm not lying, Emma said, her voice carrying through the courtroom. And I'm not scared anymore, because the bikers taught me that good people don't let bad people win. The jury deliberated for 4 hours, guilty on all counts. Holloway got life without parole. So did Judge Brennan and Sheriff Webb. The others received sentences ranging from 20 to 40 years. On the courthouse steps afterward, reporters swarmed Emma and Jennifer, but the Iron Reapers formed a protective wall, blocking cameras and microphones. Agent Caldwell approached Maddox. We couldn't have done this without you, without your club. We just did what was right. Most people wouldn't have. Most people would have walked away. 3 months after the trial, Maddox received an invitation to Emma's 8th birthday party. It was held at a park, the same park where she'd been taken. We're not letting them have this place, Jennifer had said. We're taking it back. The party was full of kids, balloons, cake, but also bikers. 50 Iron Reapers showed up, bringing presents, playing games, making Emma laugh. Emma found Maddox by the picnic tables. I have something for you. She handed him a drawing, crayon on construction paper. It showed a little girl holding hands with a tall man covered in tattoos. Behind them stood motorcycle. At the top, my hero. Maddox felt something break open in his chest. This is the best present anyone's ever given me, kid. Really? Really? Emma hugged him, then ran off to join the other kids. Jennifer approached, carrying Punch. She talks about you constantly. She's a special kid. She is, and you're a special man. Jennifer sat beside him. I think you were supposed to be in that diner that day, not just for Emma, but for you too. You saved her life, but maybe she saved yours a little bit too. Maddox looked at the drawing, at Emma laughing with her friends. Yeah, maybe she did. As the sun set, Maddox sat with Reaper, watching Emma blow out her candles. You know what's crazy? Reaper said. We're outlaws, bikers, guys society tells kids to fear, and we just became heroes. How'd that happen? We chose to be. That's all it takes. Emma's wish that night, which she told Maddox later, was simple. I wished that every scared kid could find someone like you. That's a good wish, kid, Maddox said. Let's see if we can make it come true. The Iron Reapers became more than a motorcycle club that day. They became a promise, a symbol, proof that redemption was possible, that past mistakes didn't define you, and that sometimes the scariest-looking people had the biggest hearts. Emma Sawyer grew up safe, loved and whole. The 4 other children found families and healing. Jennifer became an advocate for missing children, and Maddox Kane. He found purpose again. Every child he helped was a tribute to Lily. Every life saved was proof that tragedy didn't have to be the end of the story. It could be the beginning. The end.